320 million tons of gold confirmed, worth 12 point something trillion dollars.
What would you do with $12 trillion? That's not a trick question. It's the kind of thought that sparks wild ideas. Pay off global debt, build cities in the sky, erase poverty. Now imagine if a single African nation suddenly found itself sitting on that kind of wealth, not in theory, but literally beneath its soil. That's exactly what happened in Uganda. In what might be one of the biggest natural resource discoveries in recent history, Uganda announced the finding of gold deposits estimated to be worth over $12 trillion. Yes, trillion with a T. The discovery, made in the country's northeastern region, sent shockwaves through the global mining and economic sectors. In fact, Yori Nyuzeveni, the president of Uganda, revealed in a State of the Nation speech on June 7th that the country had found gold deposits worth an astounding $5.8 trillion. A startling revelation that quickly garnered international attention. Indeed, there are an estimated 320,000 metric tons of pure extractable gold hidden beneath Ugandan soil, along with 31 million metric tons of gold-bearing ore. Keep promoting the export of raw materials from Africa even when the product you are selling to foreigners has 90% greater value. Nyuzeveni declared with confidence that his cabinet had been briefed on the discovery by representatives of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, claiming that the nation may get royalties of at least $700 million. This was more than simply news for a country that was struggling with development. It was a possible economic revolution. According to mineral development specialists, if projections are accurate, the recent gold discovery may provide more money than the country's Western oil resources. The country was buzzing with excitement, but not everyone was falling for the golden dream. Soon after, there was skepticism from both inside and outside of Uganda. Geologists and mining specialists started to doubt the figures. The president of the Geological Society of Uganda, Alex Kwatampora Benigo, described the numbers as strange. He clarified that such enormous amounts of gold would be unheard of in history and urged the business conducting the analysis. The information has to be clarified by Wavagai Mining Uganda Limited. Given that Wagagai is controlled by Chinese people and that the study may have been done in Mandarin, concerns of mistranslations or misunderstandings were raised. Mineral and energy policy analyst Don Bwesegi Binyina made a shocking revelation. Only over 254,000 metric tons of gold have ever been found worldwide, according to data from the US Geological Survey. Uganda alone possesses more gold than the entire globe combined, if the figures are correct. Exactly 115 times more. Is that even feasible? Or did the president mistake tons for ounces? Cut to public servants evading inquiries. Officials from Uganda's Directorate of Geological Survey and Mines were evasive when reporters from The Independent attempted to confirm these numbers. While one high-ranking official acknowledged that only the permanent secretary could discuss the issue, another subtly disclosed that the figures were probably erroneous and were still being checked with Wagagai. This is all taking place against a tense global backdrop. President Museveni has not held back in imposing sanctions on Uganda. He said Uganda will not export raw minerals in a defiant declaration. Over my lifeless body, I spoke. All unprocessed mineral exports from this area are prohibited. Allow them to remain in the earth. They will get them out when the grandchildren arrive. Not over his lifeless body, not now, never. This implies that Uganda's mineral resources must be developed, refined, and processed domestically and according to Ugandan regulations. Burkina Faso's interim president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has already taken this action. To regain control of his nation's gold resources, Traoré performed audacious and unheard of actions. This move is part of a broader national policy aimed at reclaiming economic sovereignty, stopping foreign exploitation, and redirecting the country's natural wealth to benefit the Burkinabe people. Moreover, 70% of Burkina Faso's total export earnings come from gold, making it the country's most valued export. However, the majority of this riches has been diverted for years by mining firms owned by foreigners, leaving little for the state and local people. Traoré has prioritised resource nationalisation since taking office in September 2022. Many mining contracts negotiated under past regimes were substantially skewed in favour of foreign businesses, particularly those from France, Canada and Australia. His government has started to analyse and renegotiate these contracts. These businesses frequently made enormous profits while paying meagre royalties. As a result, operators convicted of tax evasion, unlawful behaviour or breach of contract have had their licences removed by Traoré's administration. These mines were then turned over to state-affiliated organisations or put under governmental administration. Fighting the smuggling of gold is another important aspect of the programme. For many years, a significant amount of Burkina Faso's gold was being illegally transported over international boundaries, especially to neighbouring countries. In order to stop smuggling networks and make sure that the nation's gold production is accurately recorded, Traoré has mobilised security troops and intelligence units. These steps are intended to halt the loss of national wealth and reroute it toward economic growth, public infrastructure, education and defence. Reclaiming gold mining is more than just a business choice. It's a remark about politics. Other Sahelian leaders, especially those in Mali and Niger, share Traoré's broader Pan-African vision, which is reflected in his activities. These nations, which are currently members of the Alliance of Sahel States, or AES, are coming together with the same objective of opposing neo-colonial influence and creating new forms of collaboration based on self-determination and sovereignty. In his remarks, Traoré has underlined that the people, not foreign empires, should benefit from natural resources like gold, and that reclaiming them is crucial to funding national development and maintaining peace over the long run. This endeavour is not without difficulties though. Technical know-how, financial resources and a government apparatus immune to corruption are necessary for the recovery and administration of gold mines. Burkina Faso also faces the threat of economic and political reprisals from Western nations, whose financial interests have been shattered. Internally, Traoré may face resistance from military players or local elites who profited from the former system. Many common people, however, have praised the action, seeing it as a long overdue remedy for decades of economic injustice. Traoré's position reflects a broader trend in Africa, where both citizens and politicians are opposing the legacy of exploitation and calling for more authority over their natural resources. If effective, Traoré's strategy for Burkina Faso might serve as a potent model for other resource-rich countries on the continent looking to regain their independence and forge a new path. Nyuzeveni's export prohibition, which follows Captain Traoré's lead, sends a strong message to the West. Uganda is no longer used as a raw resource for international exploitation. The gold is more than just a resource to Nyuzeveni. It represents self-determination, resistance and sovereignty. Here's the question though, is this a true discovery? Is Uganda poised to emerge as the next gold superpower? Or is this a political charade designed to incite pride in the country? And can President Nyuzeveni combat sanctions and internal misgivings while safeguarding Uganda's riches from foreign interests? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Does Uganda have a golden empire? Or is this just another instance of exaggerated optimism? For more information about Black history, African power, and the struggle for economic independence, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay focused on the motherland till the next time.